It's so easy to just take AI for granted when it's just another feature on our phones. But it makes you wonder, right? How does it actually get made? What's the real process of going from just an idea to a system that can actually think or create? What does that blueprint even look like?
Well, it all started with the original playbook, rule-based systems. This was kind of the OG of AI, and it was built on a really simple but really powerful idea. You tell the machine exactly what to do, step by step. No guesswork allowed.
So just picture a rule-based AI as this giant, super detailed decision tree. You've got human experts who literally sit down and write out all the rules of the game. If you see this, then do that. It's direct, it's completely transparent, and for decades, this was the absolute bedrock of artificial intelligence.
And the workflow here is pretty much exactly as straightforward as you'd think. The system takes in some new data, it checks that data against its massive library of rules, and if it finds a match, bam, it triggers an action. It's a perfectly logical, predictable chain of events.
But don't mistake simple for easy. Oh no, these systems were never a set-it-and-forget-it kind of deal. The real work was in the constant tweaking. You had to have human experts in the loop pretty much 24/7, always adding new rules and fine-tuning the old ones just to keep the system sharp.
Okay, but that brings up a huge question, right? What happens when you actually don't know all the rules? What if the problem is just way too complicated for any human to possibly write them all down? Well, that exact question is what leads us to the next massive leap in AI.
That very limitation is what led directly to the machine learning revolution. The whole philosophy just flipped. Instead of feeding the computer these rigid instructions, we started feeding it tons and tons of examples and basically asking it to figure out the rules for itself. Now, this new approach created a much more complex workflow. You start with just massive amounts of clean, organized data. Then you get to this critical step called feature engineering, which is really just a fancy way of saying you have to teach the AI what to look for, which clues and all that data actually matter. Only then can you actually train the model and let it out into the wild, which just starts this whole other cycle of monitoring how it does in the real world. And just like with the old rule-based systems, it is all about iteration. But the loop looks completely different here. You're not tweaking rules anymore. Now, you're constantly experimenting with different data sets, different types of models, different features, all in this big hunt to see what combination gets you the absolute best performance. Which, of course, brings us to today, and the new wave that is changing everything all over again, large language models, or LLMs. And with these, the entire way we interact with and build AI has been turned completely on its head. At its core, an LLM is a gigantic pre-trained model that's already incredibly good at understanding human language. Because of that, our job is just fundamentally shifted. We've literally moved from coding rigid rules to crafting flexible conversations. The new essential skill isn't programming, it's writing clear, effective prompts to guide the model. And this new workflow feels so much less like programming and a whole lot more like having a conversation. You provide some context, you craft your prompt, the AI generates a response, and then the real dance begins. You evaluate that output and then refine your prompt, over and over again until you get exactly what you need. This really is the new iteration loop. The power has literally moved from the code to the conversation. Getting a great result is now all about this process of constant refinement and creative dialogue. The key skill is no longer logic, it's language. So let's just put it all together for a second. With rule-based AI, the human is the rule writer, and the focus is on tweaking rules. With machine learning, we become data curators and model trainers, and we're iterating on data and models. And now with LLMs, we're prompt crafters, iterating on the prompts and the conversation itself. 3 totally different playbooks. But if you look closely, you'll see they all share one single, non-negotiable principle. So what is it? What's that one constant, that one rule that connects all 3 of these eras? It's this. Whether you're writing a simple if-then statement or prompting a giant neural network, the one constant is what's known as the no free lunch principle of AI. So what does that actually mean? Well, put simply, there's no magic bullet. There's no one-size-fits-all model. No matter which playbook you're using, the only path to a great result is through customization and constant, relentless iteration. And in practice, that looks like this. You have to test multiple ways to solve a problem. You have to constantly iterate, whether that's on your data, your models, or your prompts. And so critically, you have to continuously monitor performance, because no system is ever perfect right out of the box. The work is never, ever truly done.
So as these AI systems get exponentially more powerful, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Does the human work involved actually get any easier, or does it just get different? We've gone from coding rules to curating data to crafting entire conversations, but that need for constant, creative human effort, that part remains.
So the work isn't disappearing, it's just evolving right alongside the technology, and it's constantly demanding new skills from us. Thanks for digging into this with me. If you're ready to evolve your own AI skills and really level up fast, you can find the link in the description.